me start with the social first. First beef through. JJSportsMo. Rome, what's my beef? The morons on my Twitter feed crying that they didn't win $500 million in last night's lottery and that they had to wake up and go to work today. JJ, what's your beef? JJ. OverTheTopTP. Uh-oh. Quote, my beef is with people who use quality toilet paper as tissues to blow their nose. Get some Kleenex. Good toilet paper is far too important to waste on anything other than toilet business. Bro, you got to stop. I mean, seriously, stop. Stop, because I've said this segment always works. Not when you participate. PheonixTreeRat. Jim, my beef is with the guy at the liquor store who can't make up his mind on what lottery ticket to buy. Good Lord. Just pick any damn one. You're going to lose anyway. RyanInSacTown. I got a beef. My beef is with stadiums that still have urinal troughs. Let me handle my business without another dude standing across from me making lame jokes about how cold the water is today. Jim, I have a beef, all right. Why didn't anyone tell me Jack Del Rio had a new job? I went all year without watching a WFT game. I missed out on glimpses of his chiseled, manly face. Damn it. Signed, Thirsty Sarah T. That's a solid beef, Sarah. I can see why that would bother you. Kenny in Albany. My beef is with these NBA teams wearing their city alternate uniforms that bear no resemblance to their normal colors. I literally have no idea who the hell is playing. That's good. I like that. Jim, my beef? The look of disappointment on the snooty waiter's face when I order a cost-effective dish like chicken instead of the filet or lobster. Sorry I can't afford to drop $2 on an entire bra. Or an entree bra. Stop judging. Nick in Westchester near LAX. It's not bad. But you can see where somebody in that occupation who's depending on tips might want a higher bill. But I feel you. You're right. They should not judge. Rome. Hey, by the way, what restaurant are you going into now? You can't get into a restaurant now. Rome, I got beef with people who don't put the shopping cart in the cart corral after they load up their groceries. You psychopaths need to be banned from future cart use and forced to carry what you can in your arms. Go Bills. That's not an original one. I've heard that one before. I need original beef. I mean, that's a universal beef. We all hate that, but that's come up a number of times. Hey, Rome, we got beef with Sheldrick Red Wine. His name just might be better than ours. Signed Coco Crisp, DeBrickashaw Ferguson, and God Shamgod. Jeremiah in Greeneville. Rome, my beef. The late afternoon video conference calls. This new form of work communication is probably 10 times worse than the normal phone option. Not only do I have to listen to some corporate kook drone on, but it finishes well past 5 o'clock. Having it on video makes it much more difficult to be buried in my phone, smoking cron, or sipping on a much-deserved cocktail. Signed, any person that works. I like it. Chris, no longer in St. Pete. Dear Jim, my beef is with 72-hour deodorant sticks. Who outside of Portland uses these? Are there really slobs walking around my community who can't reapply deodorant more than twice a week? Or better yet, take a shower. Sickening. Brett and Bugahaw, clean clone. That is interesting, right? I didn't know it was so much work to apply deodorant. It does take 2 seconds. 4 total. 72-hour deodorant. Wow. Hi, Jim. Is there 72-hour toothpaste, too? Hi, Jim. You want to know what my beef is? My beef is when Siri randomly interrupts your conversation and starts shouting out facts about something you said a few seconds earlier. Bella B. Bella, you mean like when that happens to me on the show or when that happens to you? Or both? Jimmos. Jimmos. You see you see the wheels turning in my head? Do I or do I not read this? Jimmos. My beef is with public bathroom moaner guy. We don't need to hear a professional wrestling match in your stall.
1 sec.
That is weird, isn't that? That totally just happened. Bella, how about that? My beef is with public bathroom moaner guy. We don't need to hear a professional wrestling match in your stall. If it hurts that bad to get it out, eat some fiber. Thanks. Jim from sunny Pensacola, Florida. Jim, my beef is with the letter C. The letter C is the most useless letter in the alphabet because it pretends to be a K or an S. Do something unique, C. Andrew from C-Town. It's not bad. It's different. And finally, Jim, my beef is with people who give labels to rock bands. Labels like alternative, new wave, out country. If I hear the Replacements and REM referred to as an alternative band, I'm going to break things. As you know quite well, Jim, the Replacements were a straight-up rock and roll band of everything about rock and roll. Noise, attitude, artistry, rebellion. It pisses me off that brainless marketing agents choose to put them and other great artists in a box. Mike and KC. Noise, attitude, artistry, rebellion. Oh, and booze. You forgot booze. They were about booze. Lots of booze. You're right, bro. You know I agree with that. My favorite band ever. Greatest American rock and roll band ever. The Replacements. All right, so let's get at it. We are going to the phones now. I'm going to keep that beef segment going as long as I possibly can. We go to Northern California. Ryan in Nocal. Ryan, what's going on with your beef?
Hey, Jim, I'll tell you what I got a beef with. It's this younger generation that uses the term, let's go, as a term of celebration rather than a term of motivation. Hey, I didn't get run. Let's go. Rack me.
Nice job. Well done. Ryan in Nocal. 1-800-636-8686. We're going to the phones. We go to Colorado Springs. Chris. What's going on, Chris? What's your beef?
Hey, Jim. As a stay-at-home uncle, my beef is actually with you and all the clones who thought it was suspect as hell that I might own a Rolex. I wasn't always a stay-at-home uncle, you know. So a couple of years back, my banging hot wife and I were vacationing down in your neck of the woods. We're strolling along the beach, and we come across a guy that has a set of his and hers Rolexes neatly displayed in what I can only describe as an iconic Clearview package. His name's Greg, Craig, something like that. Anyway, super nice guy. Didn't smell all that great, but he gave us a great deal, so we're like, why not? So yes, clones, I do own a Rolex. And yes, Ben in Beverly Hills, I do have to take it apart once in a while to change the battery. I'm glad I could clear that up for all you chuckleheads. Thanks, Jim. I'm out.
All right. I'm still not buying it, but he just said it. I think that what he implied was that irate Craig sold him his Rolex. He said, I was down in your neck of the woods with my banging hot wife, and did he say Long Beach? I thought he said Long Beach. And the guy didn't, quote, smell that good, but he sold me a Rolex, and yes, I do have to disassemble and reassemble it to change the battery. You're a liar. All right, let's go to Santa Barbara. Patrick in the 805. Patrick, what's your beef?
What up, Jim?
What's going on?
Dude, my beef is the Corona-19. I got negative tested. The doctor says the 18th I could go back to work, but HR says right away, and the supervisor says, stay the hell away, you're getting paid. So I'm going to listen to the boss and circle letter C, okay? War Santa Barbara and Old Kings Road. And Ray, you did a good job on warding up your friends on the Christmas lights. Later, Rome.
All right, so he's got an issue with his, quote, Corona-19 test. He wants to come to work, but they told him not to come to work. I don't even care what his beef is. He's in Santa Barbara. That's good enough for me. I thought that he was the guy who told the homeless folks not to touch his Christmas lights downtown because he hangs lights for the city. And that Ray did a good job of warding them off. I think I'm better at your call than you are at your call. I've gotten pretty good at decoding your calls or trying to figure out exactly what the hell you're trying to say in your calls. Like this guy, I'm a master. Let's go to Houston. Jerome in Houston. Jerome, I know you got beef. I just don't know what it is. What's going on?
Oh, got some good beef. Van Smack, thanks for the vine. Happy New Year to you and the crew, especially Awesome Hawk. And I would just say that the problem with what we're dealing with down here in the city of Houston is...
That's not a good call. No. You don't like that call. I don't like that call.
Jerome,
Not a very good call.
I need to help you with something. The tempo. Imagine a football team that likes to play up tempo. Normally during the segment, I let you unwind and take your time. But in the beef segment, we're going bam, 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 bam. Pick up the pace, Jerome. It's different. Let's go to Lynden, Washington. Ken. Hey, Ken, what's your beef?
Hey, Rome, my beef is with radio announcer guy. I'm watching the football game, and he tells me, players are moving from my left to my right. I don't know where you're sitting. I don't have a clue what that means. That's about as descriptive as saying that pretty girl has she's got a real nice personality.
I don't know if it's quite like that, but I see your point. You're right. From your left to your right is my right to my left is to my... Yeah, I get that. I actually do it here. I say from my left to my right because I think that's just one of those announcer things. But I'm looking straight through the glass. So you can imagine when I say reading from my left to my right, Alvy, Hawk, and then back in the second row, that old man. You probably understand that. Let's walk it off on this one. Or not. See how it goes. We go to Kathleen. She's been in before. Kathleen, what is your beef?
Jump on Cleveland's roach-infested bandwagon? No chance in hell. I would rather stick my head up Johannes Eckerson's ass, and if Johannes and Baker were in a beauty contest, Johannes would be declared a winner before the contest even got started.
Okay. Thank you, Kathleen. You know what I do sometimes? I've been watching this show. Never mind. You know what I do want to do sometimes on some of your phone calls? I want to have like a closed captioning that I can call up so I can actually see the text of what some of you are trying to say because I have no idea what the hell you're trying to say. I can't walk off on that. She's... Never mind. But did she... Never mind. Did she just say, never mind? Let's go to San Antonio. Ed, what is your beef?
Hey, Jim. Well, now my new beef is Jerome in Houston, man. Even Otis in Austin thought he talked real slow. But anyway, my real beef is why Doug Peterson, why it took him so long to fire him. I mean, his stock fell faster than Bill Clinton tripping over a python in South Florida. I mean, his stock fell faster than Janet's online roulette balance.
Wow, dude. That did fall pretty fast.
No. You don't like that call.
I don't know what Bill Clinton is tripping over, but Janet's online roulette balance did fall very quickly. It did fall very, very off. So I'm checking out this plastic tower of beef, quote, to my left. From my left to my right, the tower of beef, my MacBook Pro 16, and my iPhone 12 Pro Max. And no, I'm not flossing up in here. I like that product. This thing actually opened up. Hawk said that I didn't know the Tower of Beef actually did physically open. I said, oh, hell yeah, it did. I was thinking about having some during the segment. You know how I gesture with my pen? I was thinking about gesturing with some of the beef and eating some of the beef. Man, I'm hungry. I need energy. Good energy. Not the kind of energy you pull from a candy bar, Rit. Not the kind of energy you pull from a protein shake. I need good energy, the right energy from beef. Man, the social were definitely better than the phone calls today. The phone calls were all right. But one last thing about the pace of the segment, man. You got to get unwound quickly. There is a tempo to this thing. Beef, 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 beef. Keep moving. And I don't want to hear where you put your head, Kathleen. Man, weird. All right, so some reaction to Jerome. Jerome. We all have beef with a certain guy from Houston. St. Vincent, Illinois. Romy. Even we think Jerome is selfish and inconsiderate. Dude tries to take up an entire segment every damn time. Hey, Jerome, you suck at calling. Your stories are boring, and we never understand what in God's name you're talking about. Keep moving. Regards, Ashley in Nebraska. War Lady Clones.
War Lady Clones.
Dude, that is a beatdown. That is harsh. That is really harsh. Quote, even we think Jerome is selfish and inconsiderate. Dude tries to take up an entire segment every damn time. Hey, Jerome, you suck at calling. Your stories are boring. We never understand what in God's name you're talking about. Keep moving. Ashley, take it easy, yo. Listen, I don't think that he's those things, honestly. I don't think that he's selfish. I don't think that he's inconsiderate. I don't think that he tries to take up an entire segment every damn time. I don't even think that he sucks at calling, or that his stories are boring, or that we never understand what in God's name he's talking about. I mean, all that's in part true. Jerome's coming from a good place. He wants to come on. He wants to pay his respect to the show and to me and to the crew. He's oftentimes blasted. He's not young. He has trouble making his points sometimes. Hey, Adam, let me ask you. All right? So I would imagine, I know that part of your job is not only to screen the callers, but to warm them up and direct them and get them to the right place of mind, right? Like, have you had that conversation? Did Jerome understand there's a certain tempo to that segment?
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, it was Garrett Ritt this time who told Jerome, like, there is a tempo to the segment. Pick it up. It's a beef segment. Just get straight to it. Every other caller starts with, I got my beef, and it's this. Every tweet starts with, I got my beef, and it's this.
Well, because they're angry, too.
Right. And Rick in Buffalo called today. The very first words out of Rick's mouth were, I'm skipping the models and sushi and going straight to the strippers and blow. Like, he shot out of a cannon. He starts his phone call right away. You have turned your show over to a caller, and that caller has started with his content right away. He's not wasting any time. He's not doing the pleasantries.
And you've made that clear. You've told them when you talk to them and you prep them, this is what we're looking for.
Absolutely. And I've had that conversation with Matt in LA and with Parody Larry. I give all these guys direction at the beginning. Matt, it's the same thing every time. Hey, pull your phone out of your mouth. Parody Larry, start with the song. The very first thing that comes out of your mouth should be you singing. It should not be your take. It shouldn't even be hi, Jim. Just start singing.
Because you're known as Parody Larry, not Bad Take Larry.
Correct. And
how many times do you think you've had these conversations with each respective individual?
I've talked to Matt about it probably 6 or 7 times. I've talked to Larry about it no less than 20 times. We've always told Jerome, dude, just tighten it up and get to it. Please, for the love of God, just start talking when he goes to you and just get to your point.
Do you ever tell him that he's selfish?
No, because I don't
consider it.
I don't think he's those things.
Have you ever tried to tell him that he takes up an entire segment, quote, every damn time?
I will tell him that next time, yes, because we got to be to the point.
Have you ever told him that he sucks at calling?
No, I have not, because I don't think he sucks at...
Or that his stories are boring?
No, I've not told him those things.
We never understand what in God's name he's talking about?
No, because sometimes when we don't understand, that's the funniest stuff. So
not to Ashley, apparently.
Right. And, you know, I've heard back in the day, at my first radio job that you're only as good as your worst caller. As soon as you give that caller the airtime.
Get all this radio bullcrap.
Well, think about it. It's your show, and then you turn it over to them, and so every listener is
Almost
now hearing
every
them.
caller is the worst caller. That's why I don't take calls.
Right. But as soon as they get the airtime, that's what every listener is hearing. And so just be better at it. Take your phone out of your mouth. Start with the call and not the song. Tighten up your takes. Like, be more like Rick, who came right out with a line. He skipped the hi, how are you?
Yeah, but they could. It's easy to say that. Like, I would say to you, be like other good executive producers. If it were that easy, you would.
Would you ever want to...
They can't all be like Rick. That's what makes Rick so great. He's different. He's good. He's
all right,
better.
Fair enough. But here's just a tip for everyone. Just never ask, hey, how are you? Like, you're hosting a radio show. You're clearly having the best life of all time. Your day is good. Like, we don't need that. No one needs to
And my
hear
response is always the same, no matter how I am anyway. I'm great.
Right. Now,
I'm great.
I had Alvin pull
Which
it.
is the response everybody should have when somebody asks how you are, because nobody wants that medical. Anyway, it's just something to say.
Correct. And it's 5 seconds that we'll never get back. And that's valuable. Like, people pay a lot of money for 5 seconds to be on the radio. Our advertisers pay a lot of money for that. So the callers are just wasting that time. I had Alvin pull it. Listen to how long Jerome takes before he gets to any substance at all.
Jerome, what's going on?
Oh, got some good beef. Van Smack, thanks for the vine. Happy New Year to you and the crew, especially Awesome Honk. And I would just say that the problem with what we're dealing with down here in the city of Houston
So he starts off by saying, I've got good beef. I'm like,
Right.
great, let's hear it. And didn't get to it.
And we just timed it, and that was 24 seconds. Okay, so you take a 30-second commercial. What does that sell for on CBS Sports Radio? A lot of money. So Jerome just ate 30 seconds and didn't say anything at all. 30 seconds.
That's not true. He did say Van Smack.
And I hate to do it to him because, you know, he wished us a happy new year, and he singled me out in that, which was nice. But, dude, who cares about me? Who cares about the new year? You got a lot of people listening. And that's 30 seconds we're never going to get back.
All right, so my question finally then is, if you've made this clear so many times, are they not listening? Do they respect you that little that they just don't give a damn, or are they just physically incapable of executing?
As you would say, yes. It's a combination of all of that. They don't care about me, they're not listening, and they're unable to execute.
All right, thank you very much, Adam Hawk. Take that to heart. That was some really important advice, callers. The EP coming in at 10 set super tweets. Jerome, Happy New Year. Dude, it's the 13th.